Hello there. I have been a teacher for a number of years now, and one of the most common questions that students have asked me over the years is, "Teacher, what is the difference between the present perfect simple and the past simple?" So this video is for you. I'm going to show you some examples and explanations and comparisons, and at the end I'm going to show you a couple of classic mistakes that students make when they're using the two tenses. Hopefully by the end of the video you should have a clearer understanding of the differences between the two tenses. So I hope that you enjoy watching this. Thanks very much. Take a look at this idiot. It's me. Where am I? In the photograph. Not now. Now I'm in London. But in the photograph you might think that I am in Wales or Nigeria or even Liechtenstein. But if you look very closely you will see that I am in fact in Japan. There are two ways in which I can tell you this information. I went to Japan last year. I have been to Japan twice. The past simple tells you when this happened, last year. But the present perfect simple does not tell you when it happened. This is because the present perfect simple is more concerned about the importance of the action and not when it happened. I have been to Japan twice. The action of going to Japan has finished because I'm not in Japan now. But the time that we are talking about is in my life, twice in my life. And this is an example of an unfinished time. With the simple present perfect, an unfinished time means a time in progress now. A magic word to remember is this morning, this afternoon, this evening, this week, this month, and this year. In life, of course, can be used for life experience. All of these times are unfinished. If it is 10 o'clock in the morning is still in progress. It's not finished, so I could say, I've had my breakfast. However, if the time is 12:30 p.m., it's now the afternoon. The morning is finished, so we can't use the present perfect simple to talk about this morning anymore. There are two options here. Either we use the past simple and say, I had my breakfast this morning, or we use the present perfect simple but talk about today, because today is an unfinished time. We don't normally say, I've had my breakfast this morning, because the information about the time is already understood through the situation or the context. We also don't care about the time because with the present perfect simple, the event is more important. This is also true if someone says, I've gone to an Iranian prison 3 times. Think about it. Is the person talking about today, this week, or this month? Probably not. This example sounds like life experience. With the past simple, we love to specify when the action happened. Whereas the present perfect simple time is still in progress, the time with past simple is finished. The magic word for the past simple is last. Last night, last weekend, last week, last month, and last year. We can also use other times, like yesterday, a second ago, 2 minutes ago, 3 hours ago, 4 days ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 7 years ago. Take a look at another example here. 10 years ago, I moved to Hong Kong, but I don't live in Hong Kong anymore. I only lived in Hong Kong for about 1 year. This is a finished time and a finished action which I am describing. If I have only met you for the first time and I am telling you information about my life, I could say, I have lived in Hong Kong, but the present perfect simple can be very good when you are telling somebody information for the first time, information which you think is interesting or important. Now, a good example of the present perfect simple introducing new information is in the news. If you watch TV or watch the news online, or if you read an English language news article, you will notice that the very first sentence in the news article will be the present perfect simple. And this is because it is introducing new information to you. The time is not important here. It is new information. So from the situation or the context, we understand that it happened recently, but we don't really care when. If you continue reading past the present perfect simple introduction, you will see that the past simple comes into the story. The past simple is great for giving more information about times, locations, and people. Now, the previous examples of Japan and Hong Kong told you that the actions were finished. So look at this example now. This is my dad. He's Iranian. My dad came to the UK from Iran about 40 years ago. And since that time, he has lived in the UK. So he came from Iran to the UK. That's a finished action. But his situation of living in London started 40 years ago and is still happening now. It is not finished. Whereas here, I am telling you that the action started 40 years ago and is still in progress now. With the previous ones of Hong Kong and Japan, the actions are finished. The difference here is the use of the duration of time for 40 years. Another big difference between the present perfect simple and the past simple is with storytelling. If you read a book, or if you have a holiday to North Korea and you really want to tell your friends about it, then you will probably use the past simple. Multiple past simple verbs together in a sentence gives you a story. Take a look at this example. Compare the multiple past simples now with multiple present perfect simples. Whereas the multiple past simples together give you a chronological sequence of events, multiple present perfect simples just tell you pieces of information which are not connected. For example, if I tell you that I have met Amy Winehouse, I have been a teacher for 10 years, I have been to Japan twice, I have lived in Hong Kong, I am simply telling you interesting or important events in my life. All right, here is a classic mistake for you. The first time that I meet a new student and I tell a new student for the first time, I have lived in Hong Kong, they ask me, wow, teacher, how long have you lived in Hong Kong? The present perfect question here, this could only be used if I am still living in Hong Kong now. So what they should ask me is not how long have you lived in Hong Kong, but how long did you live in Hong Kong? It's a past simple question because my Hong Kong life is finished. Now I live in London. Look at this example. I have been to Brazil last year. You will see that the present perfect simple is used in the verb. It sounds like you're talking about life experience. And if you are talking about life experience with the present perfect simple, then last year is wrong. The two possible correct answers could be, I went to Brazil last year, or if I am telling you this information for the first time, if I have just met you, maybe you are a new student of mine, I would say to you, I have been to Brazil. That concludes the video, and thank you very much for watching up until the end of the video, which is now. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this, but most importantly, I hope that this video has helped you to understand the differences between the present perfect simple and the past simple. Now, whether this video has helped you and has cleared up some problems for you, or whether it's just been a complete waste of time and you are still confused, please feel free to leave any comments, questions, or messages below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. See ya.